Can you hear me? Just want to check if everybody hears me. Great. Just write a plus. Perfect. And you can see me, probably. Good. Great, great, great. We will wait for a couple of minutes to check if everybody has got into the webinar. Maybe somebody is a couple of minutes late, so at 2 or 3 minutes maybe delay. I can share some input regarding this webinar. Basically, what I would like you to do is to ask as many questions as possible in this chat. That would be great, so that we can create some kind of engagement. And I can take these questions after the webinar on the Q&A session. Also, my colleague has submitted a form which you can fill out if you have more case-based questions, more difficult questions, so you can fill it out, send it, and we will respond to you promptly. Like that. Maybe I can start to introduce myself. My name is Theo. I have been working for Voximplant for almost 2 years. I would like to give you today a short introduction on how to create a voice bot on the application, different application areas of the voice bot, and of course show you a short demonstration of a product which is called Voximplant Kit, which involves a voice bot builder, but also a cloud call center. But that's not part of our today's webinar. So let's wait for 1 more minute and then we can start. I will start off with the presentation, then we will move to the demonstration, and we will take the questions afterwards. So I think that I can start. We will talk about creating a voice bot. These are steps how to make a voice bot. But first, I would like to speak about the application areas of a voice bot. A voice bot can help you with a lot of things, or your brand or your company. Basically, it can help you with facilitating, transaction. For example, like Domino's Pizza does or Uber does, where they have integrated voice-based application, or they have integrated a voice assistant into their application, and they can basically, a person can will order a pizza or order a ride through that application. I have seen that there is a US winery that wanted to create engagement with their brand, so they have created an application, once again a voice-based application, where a person would get advice on wine tasting, and yeah, basically the application could answer different questions about different types of wine. A lot of companies use voice-based assistants in integrating them into their products, like, for example, car manufacturers and even light bulb producers. So basically, using a voice-based application, you can check if your car is fueled or if the doors are closed. You can, using a smart home application, regulate the light right into your home. You can reduce costs. One of our most frequent use cases is when a call center is integrating a voice bot to handle most routine questions, and the questions that can't be handled by the voice bot, they usually get transferred to a human operator. And I will mention a few cases about that later on. Of course, improve client experience and loyalty rate. What we can do is, basically, how can we do that? A call center, right, or a support center, in some cases they work for 8 hours, like during working hours, or 10 or 12 hours. But then there are some off hours where the call center doesn't, a human being can't answer, pick up the phone. In this case, a voice bot can answer most typical questions 24/7, right? And of course, the processes can be more efficient. So basically, a human being can make maybe 1-2 calls per minute, right? Or handle one call per minute. A voice bot can handle hundreds of incoming calls and make hundreds of outbound calls simultaneously. So what do you need to think about when creating a voice bot? Usually with my clients that I work with, I recommend to think through basically the questions that clients usually ask, right? Or the processes that you want to automate, and how many of these questions or processes need actual human engagement. Because maybe there are frequently asked questions to which you already know answers and that are typical answers. These questions you can automate. Then there is a mix of questions, right, which require both a voice bot and a human operator, right, on the other side. These questions can be, well, maybe you need to gather some preliminary information about the client, right? And afterwards, you need to forward this call to the operator, because the operator will need to take some critical decisions given this input. And then there are, of course, the questions which only a human can handle. And these questions are usually about decision-making, some critical decision-making. These questions can be about expressing emotions, right? And questions that need personal touch. I have clients that have VIP customers that they want to provide extra services. So basically, they forward always calls that VIP clients make to operators, right? So these are basic things that you need to think about when creating a voice bot. And if to move to the next slide, these are some of the cases. I will tell you about 2 cases where we have applied, or our clients have applied, a voice bot, and what they have gotten, which results they have got from applying this voice bot. Prevarisk Group is one of our clients. It's a consultancy company in the tourism industry, and they send out different critical risk assessment surveys to their clients. And what they have seen is that sometimes clients enter wrong contact information, for example, emails, and sometimes these surveys, they get stuck in the spam filter, or their clients do not answer their emails. So before applying a voice bot, they have been using a call center, which was quite costly, and they wanted to make this process more automatic. So they have applied a voice bot to that. So after 2 unanswered emails or bounced emails, basically they engage a voice bot using Voximplant Kit. They upload a call list into Voximplant Kit of the clients that haven't answered them, and engage the voice bot to check either for the correct email or to remind the client that to answer their survey, basically. So by doing this, they have reduced the cost of the call center by 94%, because currently they use a voice bot to do that, to gather this information. And of course, like I said, a voice bot is faster, so the voice bots are more efficient. They can do hundreds and hundreds of calls simultaneously. And of course, the response rate has also greatly increased. And to the second question, Skyeng is educational technology platform. Basically, they teach English using video conferences. And what they have seen as a problem is that they have been engaging their call center into reminding their clients of an upcoming class, and also they have reminded their clients to fill out or to load their account with more money, and this has been quite costly. So they have engaged or created a voice bot using Voximplant Kit on that, and this has resulted in on-time notifications, because a voice bot, you can adjust a voice bot to remind the person like 1 hour before the class, and then a voice bot, if there is no answer, it can call again in 15 minutes and so on. So basically, it's an efficient way of doing these notifications, and they have increased the number of successful calls, as well as the number of calls totally. So basically, they could cover most parts of their client base with these notifications. And now I would like to show you a small demonstration of Voximplant Kit and how actually to create a voice bot, right? So this is Voximplant Kit. It consists, like I said earlier, of 2 parts. It is the graphical voice bot builder that handles inbound calls. They can handle inbound calls and make outbound calls, like in the 2 showcases which I have told you about, as well as the cloud contact center, which is an omnichannel contact center. So basically, you can create a cloud call center on one part, and integrate the assistant or the voice bot into the cloud call center that will handle incoming calls, for example. Now, I would like to show you around this interface. You can create voice bots that will handle outbound calls. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Can you see my screen? Like this? Yes. So basically, this is Voximplant Kit, right? And this is the Cloud Contact Center. I don't know, guys. Have you seen my screen the whole time? Have you seen the presentation? Good. I was afraid that you haven't seen my presentation. Now, this is Voximplant Kit, right? So here we have the voice bot builder. to handle inbound and outbound calls, and the contact center, which you can also basically, using a graphical call builder, you can create your own cloud calls contact center. And with these two, you can make an efficient solution to handle incoming calls by both the voice bot and the agents, right? The human agents. So outbound call scenarios and how to create a voice bot. This is the interface. You can create scenarios. We have some pre-made scenarios, most frequently used. I will demonstrate one of these scenarios for you today. And you can create a blank scenario. For that, you can create campaigns. So basically, after you have created the scenario, you select a certain campaign. You select the scenario. You select a caller ID, which will be shown on the other side when the client will pick up the phone or see the call ringing or the phone ringing. And you can adjust the number of lines, which basically adjusts the number of simultaneous calls that the voice bot will be making or the system will be making. You can easily adjust when you want to start and end your campaign. Working hours, which probably is a very important thing because you don't want to call your clients maybe in the night, right? And you can, of course, adjust number of attempts, how many attempts you want the client to receive the call. If the client doesn't answer first time, you can adjust number of attempts to 3 times, 4 times, or 5 times. Usually we do not recommend to adjust it to 5 times. And of course the interval. If the client doesn't answer the first time, when should the bot make another call? In 30 minutes, 1 hour, or 2 days, or whatever. And here you can, of course, also integrate or upload your call list. You can upload it via an Excel file or CSV file. Or you can make an integration via APIs with your CRM system, and afterwards you can receive all the answers into your CRM system. And of course, you can check outbound call history here, how it looks like, how much it costs, and so on. You have the same thing with the inbound calls. So basically, if you want to make an IVR or a voice bot integrated, a smart IVR, sometimes we call it, integrate into handling your inbound calls, you can make it here. So the setup is pretty similar. If you don't want to use speech synthesis, you can use audio files. Basically, upload your own audio files and use it as speech synthesis. You can buy numbers from us, or you can register even your own, SIP register your own numbers. You can make integrations with your email. You can make integrations with Dialogflow connector. So we have created connectors to Dialogflow and IBM Watson. And basically, you can integrate this very easily into your scenario by uploading your JSON file here. So this is about that. Let's check out the scenario itself, how we can create a voice bot. This is a preset scenario, a notification scenario. It is fairly easily to operate here. Basically, if you want to integrate or create a function, you just drag and drop a certain box. An outbound call scenario usually starts with an outbound call. You can apply a voicemail detector function here. Interactive menu. So this is an interactive menu which generates basically or synthesizes speech. So you can, by putting in whatever you want the voice bot to say, you can put in this information here. You can choose different languages. We have different providers like IBM, Google, and Amazon. that are integrated into our platform. And you can use different types of voices to choose from. You can use different input settings. You can use either DTMF, or you can use, for example, voice recognition as input. So basically dialing a certain number for yes, number 1, for example, or you can say yes, right? And the same thing with responses. You can choose 3 for no, or say no, right? You have the data modification blocks. This data modification block afterwards, after you get the report from a certain campaign, will help you to check which clients have responded positively to your discount offer, that wanted to have a discount and said yes, and the clients that have said no. And here you have the text-to-speech or synthesis block. As well, you can easily enter different phrases in here and choose language and the type of voice, basically. And let's try it out, basically, how this works. So what I will do is that I will choose a particular caller ID, which I have bought here, and I will enter my phone number. And I will call myself. I will put the loudspeaker on.
Good afternoon. Greetings from Voximplant Kit. We would like to give you a special discount 25% for your next order. If you are interested, say yes or press 1. If you are not, say no or press 3.
Yes.
Thank you for your attention. Your discount will be automatically applied to your next order. Goodbye.
And basically, you have seen that I have given a positive answer, right? Yes, and now I can understand that the client wants this discount, right? And I will send it to this client in his next offer, basically, right? So this is how it works. If you want to integrate other functions like SMSs, right? Or if you want to integrate the dialog flow connector into this conversation, basically you can do it fairly easily by removing this and just connecting these dots, right? So it's fairly easy to do that. And all you have to do is to upload a JSON file here, which you have uploaded into the system, and it basically works. So if you're interested in working with dialog flow connector. So that's how it basically works. Do you have any questions so far? Yes, it's very simple to make an integration with any CRM system. So basically, we have open APIs. So yes, it's fully possible. In terms of speech synthesis, we have like 40 languages which we support from different vendors, which we have, which I have mentioned, IBM, Google, and Amazon. And we have like 80 languages for speech recognition, which you can also fairly easily integrate into this or into your scenario, right? By picking the different languages, basically, right? In the Voximplant Kit. So yes. Do I have a particular example using dialog flow implementation? We have a number of those. If you could just fill out the form, we can contact you and demo this implementation for you, definitely. Well, when it comes to WhatsApp messages, we will need to check out the scenario, how you'd like to set that up. But we will contact you regarding that, Ronnie, and check the use case basically. So yes, we can handle this question with you separately if that's okay. Any more questions? Right. Yes. We can handle this question as well with you separately, for sure. More questions? No, no more questions. My colleague has sent the form once again, the Voximplant online form. If you could fill it out so that we could get in touch with you if you have some questions and so on. And my colleagues will contact you definitely. And we're always here to support you and share our experience in building different voice bot solutions. So please get in touch with us. If you have any other questions, ask them, email us, or fill out the contact form, and we will be very, very keen on helping you out.